away with using the same music, but add the compulsories for first level.
Yeah. Are there compulsories? I don't remember.
Yes, they're pretty basic, but yes. So first level, it adds in a 10-meter canter circle, 10-meter shot circle, 15-meter canter circle, lengthening at the trot, and simple changes at the canter.
I probably wrote that shit because I was the chairman of the freestyle committee, but it's been years. So who is lead in your pas de deux?
So it was Maddie because at the time Red was super green broke. So that's why we designed it. We actually designed it in line, like he was following her. So that way I could show him. It was the first year he was showing, and he could just follow her since she's super steady and just pick up the canter when she did and everything. So that worked out really well. But he's actually now quicker than her. So we'll probably have to switch that.
All right. What you have to do is decide which rider. In my case, it was all as I was able to make more adjustment in the horses, but one rider has to be the lead rider. And that doesn't mean being the boss. That means sometimes, mostly, with a nod or a gesture or a facial expression saying to the other rider, now turn, now collect, now extend. But the other thing that the lead rider has to do, which is much harder, is adapt and adjust to the less experienced horse or less adjustable horse or less experienced rider or. And so be able to say, okay, like I used to say to Chelsea when we would do pas de deux together, I'd say, you start your one tempies and I will catch up. And everybody thought it was fantastic because they didn't realize I waited a while. But when I got it going, it matched.
Yes, we definitely had to do that quite a bit the last 2 years because depending on the heat and all the other things, sometimes Maddie would be more sluggish. Or actually, one of the times last year, in the middle of our pas de deux, this horse took off outside the arena, galloping around, and we had to spun around to see what it was. So we had to do like a little pirouette in the middle to get back to Whitney.
Good for you there. You were pretty good at staying upright. And pretty good at saying, get your butt over, pumpkin. And the horse was giving you the finger, and you say, all right, I know that. Get over yourself, kiddo. Good. It's always
that he finds egregious.
Yes. So it's always about deflecting whatever goes on, not trying to stop it by longitudinal confrontation, deflecting it, turning it to your advantage, gaining mechanical advantage. Yeah, good. All right. And he may be a pill for a long time. And then it gets tricky that when you school, you don't try to avoid that.
Yeah.
But when you show, remember that it's not about riding well, it's about fooling the judges.
Right.
So even though you'd really like to give him hell or really like to say, okay, go ahead and do your worst, you don't because you want to win.
Correct. Although with him, if I don't have his throat latch and him not curling, he can stop on me. in the show ring, and I cannot get him going again without fixing that. So it's a fine line between what to put up with and not.
Absolutely right. There are times I was riding a young horse one time, and he was determined that I didn't matter when I said it was second level or low level of some kind, and it was supposed to be length and stride and canter, and he went, "Up yours, pal. What are you going to do if I ignore you?" And I said, this was in a horse show, right? And I said, "Pal, what I'm going to do is jump you out the end of the ring." And I did.
Yes.
And
last year he got, at the beginning, he figured out the stopping thing.
Yeah.
And I was in a training level class, and I bridged my reins and took my whip and just hit him once, 3 sounds, and then finished the test. And at the end, the judge was like, "You can't, I could have disqualified you. You can't take your hand off the reins or whatever, like bridge the reins." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
And anyway, that's bullshit. Of course you can. So when you're,
I couldn't, but I didn't care because that's what had to be done at particular moment.
No, you absolutely can. There's no rule, or at least there wasn't. All right.
I doubt there actually is. I'm sure it's one of those things where they assume there's a rule, but if you make them look it up, there isn't.
The rules are so poorly written, it's incredibly difficult. Oh, good. So when you put the croup over, you may have to change to moving the left foreleg out, right in the middle of it. Yes, like that, exactly. Or it may be that you think of moving the throat latch out, because they can throw the croup out, but throw the throat latch in.
Yep. All the parts. There we go.
Yes, like that. Good. And that's not going to make him your biggest fan for the moment. That's okay.
He seems to not yet be able to give me the throat latch this way and not be a little bit low. And I thought that was probably okay until he can figure it out.
Low what?
His tail gets a little low.
Yeah, don't worry.
A little curly.
Yeah, don't worry. Even if he gets behind vertical, if it's his escape route, not you pulling back, I wouldn't fuss.
Yeah, it's his escape route. That seems to be the place that he's comfortable maintaining the throat latch right now.
Yes, okay. So that's fair, that's fine. The big objection about behind the vertical is the rider pulling the horse's chin to its chest. If the horse, yeah, good. Yes, you totally destroyed his intention, huh?
Good. Oh, that was good.
That was very nice. Good. Very arched and stretched, eh?
Yes.
And now he needs rest.
He's quite abused, of course.
Oh my goodness, I am so abused. I'm so overworked. I'm so exhausted. I love these, whatever we are, move and see or pivo or something lessons. I don't have to get on a plane.
I know, it's more efficient use of your time.
Well, and cheaper, I expect.
Yeah, and cheaper. I love it because I can take lessons with you more often, which is leading to better progress and more learning.
Yeah, okay. Instead of twice a year and hope that that's when you need it.
Yeah.
Good there. So there, left foreleg, yes. Good. So you foil him as left foreleg, unless you're doing pirouette.
No, I was just trying to bring that outside leg
around. There.
Or inside,
there.
However you want to say it.
Outside foreleg coming around and almost across. Yes, absolutely. And then at your whim, inner foreleg out. Like that. Yes, like that. So that's what the average rider, I don't know if there is an average rider, but that's what most riders don't get, is that the horse has 3 ends. And one might say, how can anything have 3 ends? Well, there's the end of the body and the end of the neck. So you could say it's 4 ends for the matter of that. From the tail, from the hind legs to the front legs, and from the hind legs to the head and pole, and moving the croup in or out, moving the shoulders in or out, moving the throat latch in or out. That's 3 ends to deal with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when I go, especially to the left, since that's the side he finds more reprehensible, if I just displace the throat latch, then the very next thing he does is either try to put the croup in or try to go out through the outside front leg. So then I have to get those back into where I want them.
Exactly right. It isn't like there's some magical thing where you clamp down with X aid and that will cure all. It may just lead him, like you just said, pardon me, to another attempt at evasion. And you have to be ready to go, oh, clever you, but no.
This direction, since he doesn't overbend as easy, he actually is easier to keep aligned. There we go.
Yeah, that's typical. And people carry on so. I don't know why people carry on so, oh, my horse isn't even on both sides. It's rigid on the left and so on. And I say, well, are you ambidextrous? Oh, good there. Very tall. And increasing.
So I'm trying to think about picking my knee being the vertical here. That's why he's confused a little bit.
Absolutely. Watch the throat latch. You must get your left seat bone lined up with his pole, even though his throat latch is displaced. Did I say right seat bone? I meant left.
There.
Yes. Good. Then you can afford to take the risk of giving the outer rein and see if he'll stretch the top and the outside side. Good, Pumpkin. What we should do if you're going to ride pas de deux is one of these days we should do a video lesson of the pas de deux.
Yes, agreed.
I have 2 ladies.
Spend time on it.
Yeah, I have 2 ladies in San Diego who don't take normal lessons. They only take pas de deux lessons.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And one of them, I always make her cry. And the other one just died, so that's over. This is good. 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 Yeah.
There. Look at
good.
Good boy.
Yes. And the better you get him rideable, or the better you get you functional, the more you will take control of the dynamic of the tempo. And then the dynamic of the miles per hour. But unless the horse is just a slug rat, you always want to keep the tempo when you ask for more miles per hour. But there are horses where you say, oh, for God's sake, just move your bloomin' arse. Because they tune us out. Aha.
I'm going to do this one.
And left side being more rigid is so normal. And what happens is when you try to make an inward flexion, they throw the right hind leg out and then, oh, good. And then you have to function about the inner like that. That's no good. About the inner foreleg and about the outside throat latch.
There.
Yes, good. Nice view of your bosom, Wendy. Or somebody's.
Not mine. There.
Yes. Super. Super, super, super. And even when you threw the reins at him and made him loose and it's still there, the complexus muscles and especially the jugular groove is still there. Still there.
Yes, that was the truest straight, not straight that he's been.
Yes. Yes.
I don't have a better description.
I ask you, did I send you my paper about straightness?
Yes, I have it.
Okay.
I think I need to share it with Wendy, though. I don't think you sent it to her. But yes, I have it.
Oh, good. Okay. Because it goes on forever, but I just don't have time to edit.
Do you want me to edit it and send it back to you to see if I still have
the
gist
knack
of it?
Sure.
Okay, I'll do that. Good.
So he put his snout up, and I think it worked. You got him better, but I would have thought that when he put his snout up, you made a diddle instead of a hello, pal. You do that, okay. I stick with it.
Too diddly.
Yeah, to stick with it. Yeah, like that. Good, good. Not good. The throat latch went in. Good. All right. So the aid system says you go back and try again. You don't try to build on something that wasn't good in the first place. Oh, good. Good.
Good.
All right. Now back to walk and then back to trot.
Good. You broke up whatever you just said. Sorry.
Yes, yes, that's good. And he stayed super stretched top line, huh?
Yes. That was my test.
Oi, pumpkin. It's just so weird, I think, that the horses, when you displace the throat latch like that, when you let them rest, they stretch their necks out and down and don't do normal horsey things. It's like my lunging technique using what I call the natural half halt. Makes them stretch down absolutely to the ground, around and around and around, which nobody can accomplish by driving or whatever, or side reins.
Yeah, they tie their head down. Good.
Yeah, there he went behind vertical, and it wouldn't be bothersome because he was just experimenting. Same there. That's not you pulling him back, yeah?
No, that's him just looking for a place that he's happy.
He hopes that will be an escape route, and you say, I'm very sorry, dear, but you're going to have to move out, stretch your outer side and stretch your top line. That's not an escape route that's going to go unnoticed or unaddressed. Yes, just so. Now that's always it. Oh, nice. Doesn't matter, but don't pull back. Okay, how do you not pull back? What can you do? Because it's no good saying give the reins. How do you not pull back?
Just place sideways.
Yes, but also put your elbows wide.
Okay.
You can bring your hands to your guts, to your belly button, and your elbows wide and low. That's perfectly good. But if your elbows stay very tight to your sides and then you pull back, it's not so good. That was good. And that's a mechanism by which we that's a mechanism by which we can avoid just becoming confrontational longitudinally. Nice. And he's allowed to get crabby. Is he up under? Good. So my question was about to be, is he up under your right seat bone with the right side of his back?
He was when I let him stop, or right before I let him stop.
Okay.
He was trying not to be over here where he was doing his shenanigans. And he was right before he did his crow hop, because that's why he crow hopped. He doesn't like that.
Well, yeah, who does? That'd be a great name for a horse. I'm always thinking of names for horses because I had so many horses that I bred that needed names. I think a great name for a horse would be Shenanigan.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
Except I also have always had a piece of advice for people that are going to name young horses is don't name it what you don't want it to be.
Yes.
Like
agreed.
one of my students did not attend to that advice, and she named her horse Independence.
Oh, yep.
That was not good. It was not good.
Good. Yeah. Good.
Remember the
good.
Remember the force of opposition. Because it's natural when you put your hands up to raise your shoulder blades and elbows, except for the thrusting spear mode. Good there. Good there. He's thinking, okay, it's fine. Yeah, don't pull back. Push out and down. Your hands can come back to your belly button, but not your elbows back behind you. Yes. Good.
Good.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice. If we pull back on them when we're trying to get things tidied up, they begin to get anxious. I don't know if it's pain or fear of pain or fear of interference, but it doesn't work well. That's good enough. I have the idea. I don't always have to know exactly why a horse does something I don't like. I just have to know what to do about it so it goes away, which is not always easy. Yep, good. Ooh, good. Oops, your left hand pulled down.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Good.
All right, this inconclusive way of operating is absolutely fine, huh?
Yeah, good.
So you can say, oh, it may take us 24 attempts for you to understand my meaning, my intent.
There.
Very good.
There.
Wow. Yeah. Super. That is fascinating.
Seems very consistent.
Well, yeah, but it's not just him. It's fascinating because they all do it.
Yeah, some sort of.
Yeah, when you can raise the throat latch up and over, and then you stop, they put the neck down and go, I'm just here.
Good boy.
Right, you are. He thought that was an escape route, and you say, nah, probably not. Elbows and shoulder blades deeper. You're not creating enough force of opposition or enough stability. Oh, you know what? This is weird. This new mode, whatever we're doing, my face isn't on screen anymore. Thank God.
Were you looking at yourself before?
No, I was trying to avoid it like the plague. Right. So the throat latch, this is good. So in the half pass, the throat latch has to stay up to the left of the muzzle of the right nostril. Belly button to the left. Throat latch to the left. Fine. Now kick or left leg only or swat with a whip. Because when you put him into a place where he couldn't just ignore you cheerily, he just went, okay, I quit. I turn in my resignation.
Good.
Yes, so this interruption is not a bad thing at all. This is dealing with him going, she's best ignored, don't you know? Don't flop about shoulder blades. It doesn't matter that he bounces his bum around. What matters is if it makes your shoulder blades go flop, 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 or your elbows go flop, flop, flop.
Good boy.
Yes.
Okay. That's getting better.
Get the throat latch out of the way. Even if it's a struggle. Advance right seat bone, that advances right hind leg. When it works, I mean. Yep. All right, and from there into the trot, same mode. And that may take all week. Good. Yeah.
Boy.
It's not exactly energetic, but it's a totally different way of moving, huh?
Yep, good boy.
Yeah, pumpkin. Yuppity yup. Throat latch. He's going everywhere but throat latch.
Yep, that's what we're discussing. Okay.
Good. Keeping that focus.
There.
Yes, keeping that focus is crucial. Absolutely.
There.
Many mistakes can be forgiven, but losing that focus is not one of the forgivables.
There. Boy.
Good. Yeah, good for you, because he lost the bend, but what that really means is he lost the left displacement of throat latch. Yes, like that. Yeah, okay. All right. He's wanting to fight for it. And you must be as well, in a very stable way. And you must be willing to put up with ickies for a while until he goes, all right, God damn it, if you're going to be like that, maybe I could try a little something. And of course, we have to, in our attitude towards them, good pumpkin, in our attitude towards them, we have to realize this is not what bad word?
Resistance.
Yes, it is him going, what the hell? What weird stuff does she want this moment? Even if you just did it a few minutes ago, to him, this is a different minute. This is not the same. It's like with a horse, when you change direction, it's like it's a brand new trick. Even if you're just doing the same trick in the other direction. The reason people are good at that is because somebody tells us, do the same thing in the other direction.
Good boy.
But with a horse, you can't do that. Yeah, it doesn't matter how high and ugly it goes as long as the throat latch stays out relative to the pole.
Good boy.
Yes. Good.
It's like Jesus. I know, big sigh.
Sighs are good. It's a release of tension, huh?
Yes.
But this droopy head and neck that they're all doing is just so funny. It's like maybe if I put my head in the sand like an ostrich, she won't realize I'm here.
That is what it reminds me of. Like they're hiding. Good.
Right you are.
There we go. Much better. There. Good boy.
Good. You're getting your priorities, I think, pretty well. Ah, good.
There we go.
Good. So he has to bumble around to try to figure out, of all the experiments, what's that line from Casablanca? And all the experiments in all the world?
This is the one.
Huh?
This is the one.
No, the quote is something like all the gin joints in all the world or something. It was, can't remember the actors, but it's a famous line.
Humphrey Bogart and the woman is
Ingrid Bergman.
Candace Bergman's mom, yeah. Ingrid Bergman.
And that's the way he must.
Gin joints in all the world. It has to be. Oh, good boy.
Yes. More flexion, more throat latch out. Flexion right means throat latch out. Good. Excellent. And if other stuff has to be temporarily given up, it is not a problem. It goes back to the thing on my list called prioritization. Good.
Good boy.
Yeah. Don't let him flatten his throat latch even when you go straight ahead.
Okay.
So, when you have chickens, yes?
Mm-hmm.
But not geese.
Not geese, no. I mean, wild geese, but not tame geese.
If you look at geese coming at you, they wobble left and right a lot.
Correct.
Much more than chickens. When you try to ride the horse straight without narrowing the base of support from one side, you're essentially riding them like a goose. So that's why when we talk about straightness, what I wrote in that thing that I sent you, I did send you.
Yes, you sent it to me.
Okay. When we think straightness is just any version of getting from point A to point B that doesn't have displacement of body parts to the side, what we don't get is that rocking from right legs to left legs like a goose is also a problem with straightness. And that's why straightness is always a matter of one set of legs. We'll say left legs. The right legs must narrow. Or it could be the obverse. You say, okay, the leg of reference is the right front. Everything else has to be narrow relative to it. Otherwise, you can just be riding a goose that rocks from right to left to right. And of course, dressage people are so unsophisticated in terms of sport function and biomechanics, they can't even conceive of that. But any tennis player or dancer would get that instantly. It's called splitting the weight.
Yeah.
And it's a standard expression in, like my field, international ballroom dance, and in judo, which I did for years, is you don't split the weight because you're easily toppled laterally.
Okay.
But how you explain that to dressage queens, I am still unclear.
I think you explained it pretty clearly. You will.
What a pumpkin. All right, what next?
I'm going to put him on a circle and work on canter and, in theory, a flying change, although I don't expect I'll get one. But
okay, and when you don't get one, what is your plan? There must be an expectation, yeah? So you've already said that your expectation is no flying change. The expectation has to go beyond that. It is, and what will I do when that doesn't happen?
So I expect that he will pick up the counter canter and drop it when I change my position. And in this case, what I'm going to do is ignore the dropping of it and focus on his body position as if he had changed and it's my new inside. And I'll just ignore his shenanigans, and then I'll come down and I'll pick up the counter canter again.
All right, sounds good. As long as you have a plan, it works, because then you are easily led, not by me, but by your own self. You're easily led to the place of saying, I need a new plan. Rather than, oh, it didn't work, I'll kick harder, I'll use the aids stronger. Elbows came up. Force of opposition, por favor. Good, good. Yes. So the plan or the expectation goes beyond what he might do, but it includes what you should do afterwards. Oh, good. Woohoo, good. No problem. No problem. He went, what the hell happened with you, woman? Yeah. Yep. So there's an interesting point. You can decide which thing you're going to do to introduce him to the idea of changing functions, not flying change only, changing functions. So it could be put the croup out, it could be put the inner foreleg into adduction, it could be put the throat latch out. Could be any of those things. It's not just a mindless pursuit of, please God, could we have a flying change? Does that make sense?
Yep.
That's because you're a doctor, I think.
Yeah.
Good. So pick your poison. Yes, yes. And then you can say, well, pumpkin, when I move your throat latch out, who told you to quit?
Good boy.
Yes.
Good boy.
Good. right. So you prioritize throat latch out and say, I don't give a poop what happens to all your legs yet. Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah. Yes, and if in the process of all this you discover that you're working too hard to get the lead you want, you have to go back and train that he takes the lead from your right shoulder blade down and your whatever one, and other seat bone up. Yep, staying there, elbows deeper, elbows deeper. Ah, no, it's okay. I mean, it's not good, but it's expectable and part of the learning process. It's all right. We don't call it resistance. We don't call it stupid. We call it an experiment.
Boy.
Okay, then if you've had a horrible time getting it, I often drop and pat and say, okay, we're gonna break it down more. You finally, you dum-dum, got the idea of left canter, so I'm not going to pursue the flying change for some minutes. But what? Yeah, Hans used to say, I think I told you that. I was fussing one time because one of my stallions was standing with hind legs behind, and I thought it was terrible. And Hans said, no, he's stretching bits, or he's resting bits that you've been stretching and working.
Yeah, he feels like he's parked out.
He is, absolutely.
Well, stretch already. Hurry up.
Yeah.
Get on. All right. Enough.
Towards his ears, elbows deep. Yeah. Not just an upward pull. Right seat, lift the left seat bone. Keep it lifted. Be inevitable. Good. He did it. Good. Yes, fine. He does it, and then he goes, oh, you got to be kidding me. And you say, not really. Get over yourself over time. Good. Good. If you have to smack him to giddy up, it's allowed, but it's only for one purpose. It's not for making a flying change. It's to say, don't stop with me.
That wasn't a flying change, but he tried the idea.
Yes, he did not suck back, so that's a yes. Oh, Pumpkin, it's hard to go from Mustang to dressage.
It is. This is crap. I want a different home.
Yes, right. I want to be a pet.
Right.
Or a pasture ornament.
They get at that.
So what
he's blinking, he's shaking his ears, he's quite bewildered by the whole thing.
Yes, and your job is to say, when you're bewildered, experiment, and I will guide. Rather than, oh no, stop that. That's resistant. Come on, wham, wham. Oh, the Pumpkin, he puffing hard.
Yeah, that's from the thinking, I think, more than the cannery.
Oh, yes, they often hold their breath when they're trying to sort things. Absolutely right. It's not just the exertion. It can be, but it isn't likely to be. He looks benumbed again.
Yes, I think we're back online now.
Yeah. Okay, punks. Experiment time. So the more he experiments, the more precise you have to be. You can't slosh from seat bone to seat bone or anything like that. Good. Okay, change seat bones, give him a kick. Give him, good. Front end. Good hind end. Well done. That's a perfectly acceptable way for a horse to sort out what's wanted because they don't know what a flying change means, yeah?
Right.
What they do, what he can sort out over many repetitions is, oh, she wants me on the other lead. Oh. And then you can say, yes, I want you on the other lead. Now, speed it up, please. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Where is that on my list?
Horse think.
Yes, or empathy. They're the same, yeah?
Yes.
Horse think, I mean, time to give them to think, but also for us to understand how they might be thinking. And that is empathy. And that I think is so important, and dressage people don't get it. What a poo.
What a good boy.
What a pumpkin. So I'm always happy if they get that relatively, in this case, he changed in front and then he went, well, this isn't very comfortable. What the hell? It's the same thing a person should do. I don't know how many Arabs you ride, but it's the same thing a person should do because Arabs are so inclined to switch leads behind and go disunited.
Mm-hmm.
And the riders always stop them from cantering and start over. And I always, yeah, and I always say, do not do that. That teaches them that it works.
Right, and they're smart.
Oh, God damn, they are smart. I didn't believe it until I saw what they did in my arena. Some of them.
Yes, they're very smart. These guys are very smart too, which is good and bad. Like they're fun to train because they're very, what's the word I want to use?
Survivors.
Yes, but they're very earnest, I guess, or honest. I don't know what the right, but they're not like, there's not a lot of variation in there because they haven't had a lot of contact with people, so, or a lot of different trainers or whatever. So it's they're very straightforward to train.
Straightforward is, yep.
Yeah, but they're super smart though. So like once they get something, they get it. There's no, it's pretty, like if you do it right, they'll get it basically.
Yeah, if you get it right, it's pretty plain sailing, even though there may be rocky shores. Well, that's terrible. What am I saying? Like when he throws his bum in the air, if you can make it unprofitable by sitting still and straight instead of flopping around, he will go, this is not so profitable. Because, as you say, these ones have not been screwed up by people treating them in what people think are kind ways, but in their minds are confusing ways.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, they're not confused. They're not confused.
Yeah, they can be mad, they can be experimental, and so when he throws his bum in the air, we'll call it an experiment rather than a resistance. That implies contumaciousness, which they're incapable of which they're incapable. What a punks. What a poop. Honestly. I like these horses. Unfortunately, that test stuff that they do with Mustangs where they assign people a Mustang and they have 3 months and it has to be doing flying changes and stuff. I hate that. It's like they what do you call it? Something equitation.
Working equitation.
Working equitation. I think because we did that, 40 years ago, by having a dressage test where you had to stop and open a mailbox and take out the newspaper and open it up and put it back, and you had to go through a puddle and all like that. And I think that would be great, except that they have that thing about speed.
Yeah, then it creates like a pressure.
Yeah, then it just makes
environment.
Yeah, it just makes for a mindless clatter and tension and icky. So when I say give the outer rein during a canter depart, that isn't just a mindless instruction. That means give the outer rein and see if he fills it. And if he doesn't, start over. Ah, wrong flexion.
Oh, well, I was changing my direction. Sorry.
Why?
Because I was going to pick up the canter.
Yeah.
Canter.
So outside rein given, and the test is, does he fill it by stretching or not? Okay, not this time.
Nope.
But you still want to give it, because the idea is when you offer the rein, he should stretch into it gently, softly, not the German version. Drive him into the outside rein and pull on it.
There's your stretch.
That's right. Maybe she'll go away if I do this.
I think that's what he thinks about everything, including his little crow hop. It's not mean, but I think he thinks maybe she'll go away.
Yep, exactly.
Like in the horsefly or something.
Yes, and if it doesn't endanger you, you just laugh, but you also say, I won't make it easy. Give the outer rein. Yes. If when you give the outer rein, he does not keep his throat latch left, then you start over. That's how you teach a new trick. Yeah, it doesn't matter if he's behind the vertical and too low. You do it anyway. Give the outer rein, say canter. And if he goes, oh, I'm going to retract my outer side. Oh, nice. Beautiful, huh?
And there we go. Yeah.
Excellent. That's exactly what I meant. It doesn't matter if he went a bit fast or so. But we want to be able to say to him, honey, when I put my outside hand forward, you should stretch and fill that outside side, even if I say, please canter. Rather than, oh, I can't let go of that rein because I have to contain you into the canter. Good on you. Yes. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He was surprised too. Lovely.
Good boy.
Good. Good.
Good boy.
All right, I'd leave him.
I'm going to leave him. Looks like Wendy is ready.
That was really good. It's always, to me, a complicated issue, not for me so much as to try to teach people, a complicated issue as to what word to apply to what behavior. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's especially important because, as you know, I'm a great fancier, or whatever you call it, of the safer warp hypothesis. And if you apply the wrong word to a behavior, you will treat it wrongly. Like resistance, you will fight it.
Right.
Down transition, you will dump it. Transition back into collection will be backwards. So that still, for me, is the big tell about my own thinking of riding. What a pumpkin!